Ladies and gentlemen, the 37th Training Wing would like to take a moment before today's ceremony and ask visitors to help us keep our airmen healthy and safe. We ask guests to take special precautions while visiting their loved ones here in basic military training. Please wash your hands frequently and utilize hand sanitizer. Cover your mouth when coughing or sneezing, and attendance at ceremonies if you are experiencing flu-like symptoms. Hand sanitizer is available throughout the parade area. These simple precautions will help keep Joint Base San Antonio Lackland flu-free. Thank you. Today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade is a celebration of the achievements of these graduating airmen. It is also a ceremony that both teaches and appreciates our Air Force military heritage. Drill is an integral part of military history, a prominence that rests on the fact that its fundamental purpose was to prepare troops for battle. For the most part, drill procedures practiced in the past were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. It was this aspect of drill which made it such an important part of training. Even today, drill remains a necessary and useful training activity for instilling discipline and esprit de corps. Over 220 years ago, General Washington enlisted the assistance of Baron von Steuben, a distinguished Prussian officer, to help instill discipline. Baron von Steuben arrived at Valley Forge and Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 35,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. All warrior airmen of character have participated in a rigorous competition for the coveted Award of Honor Flight, a significant accomplishment which only one flight per graduating class is able to achieve. Honor Flight can only be awarded to a flight that achieved excellence in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Christopher Crawford, Instructor Supervisor, 321st Training Squadron, hometown, El Segundo, California. The Drum and Bugle Corps, Flight B531 and Flight B532 from the 322nd Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant Daniel Dela Cruz, hometown San Jose Tinian, and Staff Sergeant Albert Romaine, hometown Hinesville, Georgia. The A Squadron Commander is Master Sergeant April Howard, Instructor Supervisor, 322nd Training Squadron, hometown Columbus, Georgia. Warrior Flight 509 from the 331st Training Squadron, led by Technical Sergeant Reezy Pruitt, hometown Ely, Nevada. Flight 513 from the 323rd Training Squadron, led by Staff Sergeant Brian Medley, hometown Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Over the last 8.5 weeks, the airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will attend technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 130 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate, fight, and win. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our Squadron Honor graduates as well as their families. Basic Military Training Honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training today. Your words of encouragement helped motivate these airmen through 8 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America's airmen for the support of your airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Edmondson will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Good morning. What do you think about that parade? How about these airmen? Again, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of our distinguished visitors. And if I can, ask all of the visiting command chiefs and senior enlisted leaders from the Prospective Air Force to stand so that we can show all the moms and dads in the audience just who... So whether your sons and daughters are staying here at Lackland, if they're going to Keesler, if they're going to Shepherd, if they're going to Goodfellow, if they're going to Vandenberg, we have the senior enlisted leaders here that will take care of your sons and daughters for their next leg of their journey as they move on to tech school for their training. So please come up afterwards and shake their hands and have a conversation about what the next leg of this journey is all about. Thanks for being here. Absolutely an honor. To all the veterans in the crowd, can I ask you to stand so we can say for these airmen? To the friends and family, thank you. We're glad to have you here. This is a huge day. Thank you for all of the support that you've given these fabulous airmen before you gave them to us to turn into airmen, and for everything that you did for them while they went through probably the most challenging 8.5 weeks of their lives. Thank you and congratulations to each and every one of you. To our military training instructors, can I ask you to stand, please? And teach them to march, to improve their physical fitness standards, to teach them about discipline. They instilled those intangible values into each and every airman standing before you. And when they graduate today, these MTIs give them their stamp of approval. It's hard work. We're incredibly proud of the MTI Corps, so congratulations and thank you to our MTIs. To our graduating airmen, congratulations. You did it. So I have a little secret for you. For the last 8.5 weeks, we've been telling you you're not special. We've been telling you to conform to our standards, to let go of your individual identity, to bond with your flight, to be able to form as a flight and to exceed the goals that we set forward for you. Today I want to tell you you are special. Fewer than 1% of the American population chooses to raise their right hand and take the oath that you're about to take. Fewer than 1% of the American population decides to stand up and put on the fabric of their nation and fight for their country. You're different. You're special. You are part of that top 1%. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. Giving you all the tools that you need to succeed in the Air Force, but we have built an incredibly strong foundation. The rules and the standards that you learn in basic military training are the Air Force standards. Don't forget them, and don't let anyone convince you that they're not. Our core values, our guiding principles, the intangibles that the MTIs had worked 8.5 weeks to instill in you: character, discipline, integrity, service, excellence, and dignity and respect. Don't forget what you learned in basic military training, and take all of those to our Air Force and make our Air Force better in everything that you do. So I have one question. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? I think they're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Edmondson will now me.
Support and defend. Mastic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen. Welcome.
Thank you, Colonel. I am an American airman.
I am a warrior. I
Funny.